So for today's Money Musing, I want to talk about how your daily energy allowance should be seen as like a finite resource. And I know we all want to think, hey, I got all the energy that I need. I can go all day, every day, day after day. You know, the reality is for most of us, we can't keep up that kind of energy. And the analogy that I heard and saw about this was actually from Ben Bergeron in his book, Chasing Excellence, which is a great book if you haven't read it, by the way. But he said, think about your energy level as a book of matches, and you get a new one every day. So you wake up, you got 20 matches. Anything that you give energy to, positive or negative, is like taking one of those matches off, it burns out, gone. You got 19 left. So every single thing you give energy to that day, again, that could be a stressful meeting, that could be, whatever, dealing with, a patient or an employee or a kid thing, or maybe it's a workout. Again, these don't have to be negative things. These can be positive and negative. It's really just the things that, like we've talked about a lot about stress. Stress is good and bad. I went for a surf. That sounds like a great thing. I had a stressful meeting. That sounds like a bad thing. It's like, maybe it's actually the opposite. It's all about how your body perceives it. However, you are expending energy when you do this, and you are expending some headspace when you do this too. So I guess what I want you guys to think about is, if you had to be really diligent about what you're giving your energy to, positive or negative, is there things that you could do to streamline that a little bit, to make sure that your energy is getting put into the things that you want to put it into and reserved away from the things that you don't want to give it to? So again, if it helps for you to have a number, maybe take a little logbook and say, oh boy, I did that today. Check, there's one of mine. Here's another one. Check, or do some tallies or something like that. But kind of keep track of it. Your energy level is finite. That meaning, at the end of the day, even if you might burn through all your matches by 9 a.m. Oops, yeah, that sucks. Or maybe you had a chill day and it's 9:30 at night and you got 4 matches left, or 6. These are fake matches, by the way, right? But let's say you have 4 or 5 of those left over. Great, still chucking that thing away, and you get a whole new, it doesn't necessarily carry over. These aren't rollover matches or rollover minutes. You get a whole new one the next day. So something to think about. How would I use that better? How can I direct my energy into the right things that are going to push the needle on the things that I want to be successful at, or the things that are going to fulfill me? Yeah. We talk about this with our patients too, when we want PT to be a positive experience for them. We don't want it to be a negative thing, because it's really easy when you're injured to kind of get on that negative, hearing that negative narrative. So how do we push them back towards doing something that's positive? Or even looking at things like, all right, well, all these things cause you pain, but it's like stressful work, stressful life. You go into stressful workouts and then you crushed yourself and you went, snowboarding all weekend. It's like, that sounds fun, but if you're already really run down, those things can kind of like tip the scale. And again, I like to use the Whoop. I like checking that out and seeing, okay, well, how run down can I, or do I actually get from any of these activities, and when do I need to kind of pull back a little bit and maybe do some like active recovery or restorative type things, versus really like pushing myself hard when maybe my body doesn't want it, or when do I wake up and things are like green means go and let's get after it today. So again, a lot of this is thinking about just being reflective on your own feedback. If you need something like a Whoop or something that's going to give you some objective data, then that's great too. And please shoot me a message about that. I'm happy to talk about it. But again, let's make sure that you're putting your energy into the right places. Think about it.